Good morning, everyone. In this lecture, we are going to discuss about conservation of natural resources and sustainable energy system. And this is the subject of power system process. So, in this lecture, we will discuss about some renewable energy and sustainable development, renewable energy sources in India, and what are the research organizations which are working for this renewable energy sources and renewable energy policies framework and conclusion. So after this lecture, I'm expecting from student that student will be able to understand renewable energy sources and what are the requirement of these sources and how can we use these sources for sustainable development in India, and and what are the research organization which is working in this field. Now before going through this lecture, first I want to discuss about our previous some important points which we have already discussed on our previous lecture. So in previous lecture we discussed about thermal power plant, hydropower plant, nuclear power plant, and gas power plant. So these four power plants are your energy power plants from which you are getting electrical energy. And for transportation, you are using oil and some gases. So the problem is that what is the need of these renewable energy sources? So day by day, actually, in thermal power plant, for example, in thermal power plant, you are using coal as a fuel. Okay, what we were doing, we were using coal. We were using coal in a boiler. We were burning that coal, and this coal heat is using to convert steam water into the steam, and this steam is thrown to the a turbine which rotate your blades of turbine, and this turbine is connected to the generator, so this steam is converted into the electrical energy by using your turbine and generator. So basically what is the problem with this coal? Actually, when you burn the coal, there are a number of gases which is released after burning this coal, and which pollute your environment as well as your health. It create health problems also. So to to overcome of these problems, we have to find out a solution uh, uh, to generate electricity or for energy, where the atmosphere must be clean, and there must not be the problem of your fuel. So because these are the fossils fuel, and fossils fuel, day by day with the time they will be depleted. So we have to find out a solution. Okay, so renewable energy sources came into the picture to overcome this problem. So after this lecture, student will be able to understand what is renewable energy sources and how can we use these renewable energy sources in India to develop a sustainable development. So let's come to the point. First, we have to understand that what is energy. So energy is a capacity to do work. But in modern era, people depend upon energy. For example, that is your fossil fuel like coal, oil, and natural gases are the main source of energy. But everyone knows that these sources one day will be depleted, and you have to find another or another solution or another option. So uh, you are using coal in thermal power plant, you are using oil in your transportation systems, you are using some gases also in transportation system. uh, and you can see the energy crisis by increasing the price of petrol day by day. So we have to find out a solution. Okay, so next, what the energy can be classified into several types. which is based on the following criteria. So one is your primary and secondary energy, commercial and non-commercial energy, renewable and non-renewable energy. So first we have I will discuss about the conventional source of energy. So conventional source of energy is your coal, oil and natural gases are the major source of energy, which we are using from a long time, and still 80% of energy generation is through your these fossil fuel or conventional sources, which is your coal, oil and natural gases. But these fossil fuel one day it will be depleted. For example, thermal power plant has a big role in the electricity field. So 75% of the generation of electricity is in India through the thermal power plant. And electricity is required in each and every field. It may be your commercial purpose, it may be your industrialization. So there are a large number of consumption of these a large number of consumption of electricity, and that electricity is produced by coal, oil and natural gases. So when a electricity demand or energy demand is increased in the market, then you required more and more fuel to generate the electricity. So day by day, everyone know that population is increasing, so energy demand is also increasing day by day. So the major role to run thermal power plant due to rapid industrializations and consumption increasing manifold oil and gas. This decided the economic condition of the country. So these resources are limited and must be conserved. So main these resources are the main cause of pollution and global warming. So the problem is that we can use these resources to generate the electricity, but what about your environment? Because when coal, oil, and natural gases burn or it is used, uh, uh, s- carbon dioxide or number of gases which is releasing after combustion of coal, which pollute your environment. And everyone know that the main problem nowadays is your global warming, which is due to your carbon dioxide. So we have to find out a solution to overcome these problems. So and the next point, what is the correlation between energy and economy? So the energy is essential for economic growth of any country, and the ratio of energy demand and GDP is useful indicator for economic growth. Per capita energy consumption of USA is 13,246 kilowatt hour per year, but in India it is per capita consumption is about 684 kilowatt hour per year. Economic growth of country is dependent upon the rate of improvement in per capita energy consumption. So per capita energy consumption, that means that the individual person how much energy is using in a year or in a day. So let's come to the commercial fuel. So energy resources which is economical and technically acceptable is known as commercial fuel. Okay. So that is after the invention of IC engine, oil become a commercial fuel because it is economical and technically acceptable. But for sustainable growth, people look forward for new available form of energy. So nuclear and hydro energy is one of them because they are clean, have clean fuel and have a future. Now, let's come to the next point, that is global energy consumption. So there is uneven pattern of energy consumption in different countries. It may be different. It may be different in developed countries, and it may be different in developing countries. So developed country have a population of 10%, use approximate 90% of the available resources. One and the other side, there is a country where people totally dependent upon the wood as a form of energy from last 20 years. So it is different from country to country, that what is the energy consumption. So developing countries are focusing on energy sectors, and the growth rate of energy sector in developed countries is 1% to 2%, but in developing countries the growth rate is 7 to 8%. Now, so what is the need of reform energy sector? So need to reform in energy sector, developing countries require substantial investments in their power sectors to sustain economic growth and reduce poverty. So we want to get the electricity at a cheaper cost, and it as well as it must be healthy to our environment. So we have to choose some path or some way, that how can we sustain our economic growth and reduce poverty by developing energy sectors or reform energy sectors. So first point is that fossil fuels are depleted and it need proper care. Because if we don't care about fossil fuel, like coal, oil, gases, one day it will be finished, and we don't have any other option. If we can't reform our energy sector, so it will be very difficult for our future if fossil fuel will be depleted. So first we have to think about our fossil fuel, that how can we conserve these fossil fuel. Now the second point, global pollution level is increasing, and everyone knows that the main problem is your global warming. So global pollution level increases, and there is threat of global warming. For because of global warming, there are many natural disasters is happening, for last 5 to 6 years. So oil and gas crisis in 1980 happened. So Kyoto Protocol signed by country to reduce carbon emission. Now, global energy requirement increases continuously because population is increasing, industrialization is increasing. So global energy requirement is also increasing. But fuel resources are depleted, oil price is increasing continuously. It obviously, when oil prices are increasing, fuel resources are depleting, it put pressure on country economy, and we have to think about the economic of the country. So if the things is happening like this, the oil war will start, and developed countries pressurized oil rich country. So it is estimated that in next 50 to 60 years, oil and gas resources are consumed. Now, let's come to the next point, global energy crisis. So what is global energy crisis? Global energy requirement increases continuously, and fuel resources are depleted, oil prices are increasing continuously. It put pressure on country economics, and oil war will start, and developed countries will be pressurized oil rich country to get the fuel or to get the oil. And we are estimating that next 50 to 60 years, the oil and gas resources will be finished. So we have to take a big step in this field or reform our energy requirement or reform our energy sector. So first, we will discuss about our country, that what is the energy scenario in India. So India is the seventh largest country and having the population of 1.2 billion people. To maintain growth rate and need rapid growth, to maintain growth rate of India, we need to change our energy sector and we need to rapid growth in our energy sector. And the 65% to 75% electricity generation is getting from your thermal power plant. So totally 75% of energy generation is dependent upon your coal, which is your fossil fuel, and one day it will be depleted. So we have to be careful about this, and we have to be think about this, that how can we reserve our fossil fuel. So by 2016 to 17, total domestic energy production of 670 million ton of oil equivalent. This meet only 70% or 71% of the expected demand. As per the data of 2011, that 55.3% rural households had access to electricity, and still most of the villages are in India which are not getting even electricity, and which has the limited supply hours of electricity, and still they are facing energy crisis. So, India ready to exploit renewable energy resources, because in India we are very lucky to have some renewable energy sources, and we can use that in energy sources by smartly to grow our Indian economy and energy sector, or to reform our energy sector. So what may be the future energy resources in India? So I have told that as a commercial fuel we are using fossil fuel, and we have thermal, hydro, gas, and nuclear power plants in our country. But as a conventional energy resources, the main main part of energy we are getting from our thermal power plants. And as a in transportation system we are using oil and gases. But we have to take a new step for the future energy resources. So what are the new resources? We can explore them to reform our energy sector. So as a conventional fuel we are using coal, but in in future we can use nuclear power plants in which we use uranium as a fuel, which has no pollution in the environment. Okay. And the amount of fuel is very less for the same electricity generation from the thermal power plant. So there are many resources by which we can replace these power plants, and we can grow in our energy sector. So let's come to the point. Current rate of fossil fuel uses will lead to an energy crisis. If we are if we will continuously use these fossil fuel as energy sources, one day there will be energy crisis, because these fossil fuel will be finished one day. So this century energy industry start inventing new ways to extract energy from renewable energy sources. So renewable energy sources is your sunlight, wind power, biomass system, etc., etc. So due to lack of technology and economic consideration, total shift towards renewable energy is not possible. but partially we can use these renewable energy sources in our energy sector. So, uh, first we come to the nuclear energy. Nuclear energy have also future energy resources. Solar, we can use solar thermal power plant as a future energy resources. We can use our wind energy as a future energy resources, and wind energy can play a good role to satisfy the energy demand. Now we come to the next point, that renewable energy and sustainable development. So first we have to understand that what is your renewable energy sources and what is your sustainable development. So I have told you that renewable energy sources from which are clean, and there is uh, there is no pollution after getting energy from those renewable energy sources, for example solar, wind and nuclear power plants. Now we come to the point that what are your sustainable development. So sustainable development is to meet the needs of present without compromising the ability of future. Okay, so sustainable development, that we are fulfilling our requirement today, present requirement, which is not affecting our future. Okay, so this is your sustainable development. And sustainable development is very much necessary for India, or you can say developing countries, because we don't have any kind of our oil resources. Okay, we have only fossil fuel, which is coal, and it is has it's we have limited fossil fuel resources. One day it will be depleted, so we have to come to the renewable energy resources to for the development of energy sector. So what are the effect of these conventional sources of energy? So already we have discussed that the conventional energy sources is the main source of air pollution, acid precipitation, ozone depletion, which is just because of your carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, forest destruction, and emission of radioactive substances. So there is a shortage of energy in near future for more use of renewable energy sources, and technology is one of the solutions. So renewable energy is a direct or indirect form of solar energy, and research is going in this field, and day by day the research renewable energy sources is increasing in India, and it is most necessary for economical growth of India. Once technology develop in renewable energy field, it will definitely help our nation for sustainable economic growth. So, uh, first we will consider hydropower plants, because when you generate electricity for hydropower plants, there is no pollution, there is no gases which are releasing, and which are polluting our environment. So small hydropower plant, we can use a small hydropower plant for electricity generation. So let's discuss about this. Hydro plant of capacity less than 25 megawatt is comes into the category of small hydropower plant. And estimated potential of a small hydropower plant is 20 gigawatt. It helped to provide electricity in remote areas, and government plant of electrify border village of Arunachal Pradesh using small hydropower plants. Because in Arunachal Pradesh, we have many resources of water, so we can easily set up hydropower plants in those areas which have uh, their permanent water resources and good resource of water. So we have IIT Roorkee is also working in this field. So Alternative Hydro Energy Center, IIT Roorkee is work to design international level R&D and testing facilities for these small hydropower plants. Now, next come to our second renewable energy source, which is your biomass power program. So, biomass power program, biomass energy, we have already discussed that the energy which we are getting from our agriculture waste, animal wastage, and human wastage, that comes into the category of your biomass. So, the objective of harnessing grid quality power from biomass. Biomass material like baggage, rice husk, cotton, and jute waste, de-oiled cakes, etc. are used to produce energy. Baggage-based cogeneration in sugar mill have a potential of 5,000 megawatt. So the wastage of a sugar mill we can use to generate electricity through a procedure that is called your biomass power generation. So it will be very helpful in our future that it is not the sugar mill is not going to depleted, and the waste cotton and jute waste is not going to depleted. We can easily get these wastage, so we can easily generate the electricity from biomass. So biomass based generation in village using animal waste. If we talk about villages, you can see there many type of biogas plants, so they are using animal waste in those plants and getting generating your energy. Next is your solar power. So in India, you can get the sunlight in about 300 days in a year. So it is a very good thing, and by the solar power, we can use uh, the solar power plant to generate electricity. So with about 300 clear sunny days in a year, India have abundant solar potential daily average solar energy incident over India, which varies from 4 to 7 kilowatt hour per meter square. So technology advancement and drop in price of PV module make solar power plant a good choice. National solar good choice, and National Solar Mission launched to encourage solar energy solar power plant type. So there are solar power plant type, which is your grid connected solar power plant and off grid power plant. So grid connected solar power plant, that we connect a grid to the solar power station, and off grid where power plant is standing alone. Okay, so solar power plant can be divided into two parts. One is your grid connected solar power plant and off grid connected solar power plant. So there are few steps which was taken in 2010 to reform the energy sector of India and for the economical growth of India. So Jawaharlal Nehru National Solar Mission launched on 11th of January 2010. Its aim was the deployment of 20,000 megawatt of grid connected solar power plants by 2022. And the second aim was 2,000 megawatt of off-grid solar applications, including 20 million solar lights by 2022. And the third aim was of this Jawaharlal Nehru National Solar Mission, that 20 million square meter of solar thermal collector area. And the fourth point was R&D and capacity building activities to achieve grid priority by 2022. So this Jawaharlal Nehru National Solar Mission was launched on 10 January 2010, and after 10 years we can see that the rapid growth in solar power plants, and we are towards to getting our aim by using solar power plants to reform our energy sector in India and for economic growth of India. So there are few policies which was made for the development for the development of energy sector in India to economic growth of our country. So these are some policies that to motivate the people. They must get in energy resource, they must generate the energy from your renewable energy sources, because we can easily get these renewable energy sources in India. For example, your solar energy, wind energy, and your hydropower plants. So renewable energy policy framework: budgetary support for research, development, and demonstration of technologies. Uh, Government must be uh, support for research and development and demonstration of technologies. So people get motivated and people will work in this field, that is your renewable energy sources. There must be some financial incentives, including for renewable energy applications in rural areas. And we must promote the private investment through fiscal incentives and tax holidays, depreciation allowance, and remuneration return for power fed into the grid. So there is a actually government give a subsidy if you are settling up a solar power plant, and if you are supplying the power is fed into the grid. So there are some policies which motivate us to reform our energy sector in the field of renewable energy resources. So India can easily grow in this sector and for the economic growth of our country. Now there are some research organizations which is also working in the field of renewable energy resources, because after some time the energy crisis will increase and the price of petrol will also increase, and the price of electricity will also increase, because we know the uh, fossil fuels are limited and one day it will be finished or it will be depleted. So we have to think about renewable energy sources in India, and we can easily think about this renewable energy sources in India, because we have many resources in India by which we can generate the electricity, which will be pollution free and as well as good as economically. So there are some research organization which is working towards renewable energy sources. One is your Solar Energy Center. Second is Center of Wind Energy Technology. Third is your Alternative Hydro Energy Center, that is your AHEC. Fourth is your IREDA. This is your Indian Renewable Energy Development Agencies. SECI, this is working in solar energy, that is your Solar Energy Corporation of India. Next one is your NCPRE, that is your National Center for Photovoltaic Research and Education, IIT Mumbai. And some centers Some various centers are working in your IITs and NIITs, which is your renewable energy center. So there are many organizations which is working towards in renewable energy resources. So we must think about these renewable energy resources which is necessary for economic growth of India as well as for our future. So everyone wants to get cheap energy at a cheaper cost. Everyone wants to get the fuel at a cheaper cost. But we know that these sources are limited. So we have to take a new step in for generation of electricity or getting the fuel for our transportation system. So there are different research organizations which are working, and it has a vast field where everyone uh, work can work in this field for the future of our country and future of economic growth of our country. So next we come to the conclusion. So India, one of the stable economic country, depend upon thermal power plant. So 45%, 65% of electrical energy or energy we are getting from our thermal power plants. Now, to make the future brighter of India, we have to gear up to utilization of renewable resources. We have to think about solar energy, we have to think about our wind energy, we have to think about our hydropower plants, tidal power plants, and nuclear power plants. By using these resources, we can we can easily get the energy at a cheaper cost, and we can easily grow economically, grow in future. So we have to take a step towards renewable resources. Next is your, still the share of renewable energy is not significant, because various places in various cities still we are using these conventional energy sources which we are getting from our fossil fuel, like coal, oil, gases, etc. So still we are not at that point where we can grow in renewable energy resources. So still the share of renewable energy is not significant, and various renewable energy mission launched by government of India, growth of renewable sector show that still in future thermal plant is a main source of energy. And the second thing, nuclear plant and large hydropower plant can replace thermal power plant in future. But the main problem is with nuclear power plants that after burning the uranium, the waste which is remaining has very harmful rays in it, which is very harmful for human body as well as our environment. So disposal of this wastage of uranium is a very big problem. So we have to think about this problem, and we have to take some steps in the to research in this field. So the nuclear power plant can come into the picture at a large scale, and it can replace our thermal power plant in future. So there is some points by which we can use these renewable energy sources, and we can maintain our sustainable energy uh, development in our country. So clean development mechanism involve the sustainable production and the creation of energy using process and systems that are non-polluting. And conservation involves economically efficient energy, which is safe to the workers, general communities, and consumers. And sustainable consumption is the selection, use, and disposal of products and services in a way that conserves energy and materials. Now, it minimizes the depletion of natural resources, avoids toxic and hazardous substances, and optimizes the quality of life consumer. So, like sustainable production, sustainable consumption involves meeting present needs without compromising the capacity of future generations. So, what is sustainable development? That we can fulfill our need in present or today, but it must not affect our future. For example, from fossil fuel, we are fulfilling our need in our present, but in future we are going to face a big problem because one day coal will be depleted. So we have to find a new energy resources that would not affect our future. Okay, it must fulfill our need in present, but it must not affect our future. Okay, so this is your clean development mechanism. So best source for clean development mechanism is your renewable energy sources, which is your, it may be your solar, it may be your wind energy, and it may be your nuclear energy, and it may be your hydropower plants. So there are some few questions in this lecture, which is based on this lecture. So um, first question is, in terms of total primary energy consumption, India stands third. So primary energy consumption, India stands at third position. The second question is, where is the largest coal belt in India? Option one is your Uttar Pradesh, second is your Jharkhand, third is your Assam, and fourth is your Kerala. So Jharkhand is the largest coal belt in India. Next question is, which of the following majority account for thermal power in India? So basically we use coal in thermal power plant. So oil, we can also use oil, but at the larger amount or a major amount, we use coal. First option is your oil. Second is your solar thermomechanism system. Third is your coal and lignite, and fourth is your biomass. So for the option, right option for this question is coal and lignite. So we, the majority account for thermal power plant in India is your coal and lignite. Next is your next question is, when was India the third largest electricity producer in the world? It was in 2014 and 15, when the India was the third largest electricity producer in the world. Now, next question is, which of the following is a non-commercial form of energy used for cooking in India? So I have already explained to you that what is your commercial form. So which of the following is a non-commercial form of energy used for cooking in India? That is your cow dung. Next is, what is the largest thermal power plant in India? So largest thermal power plant in India, which is settled up in Vindhyachal Thermal Power Station. What is the second largest thermal power plant in India? Tiroda Thermal Power Plant, Vindhyachal Thermal Power Plant, Mundra Thermal Power Station, Talcher Super Thermal Power Plant, and Thermal Power Station. So, uh, the second largest thermal power plant in India is your Mundra Thermal Power Station. Next question is, which of the following states in is known oil reservoirs? Jharkhand, Odisha, Madhya Pradesh, and Assam. So Assam is the state which is known as oil reservoirs. Next, which of the following states is known for gas reservoirs? So, for gas reservoirs, first option is Nagaland, Odisha, Maharashtra, and Jharkhand. So, Nagaland is the state which is known as for gas reservoirs. Next one is your uh, is found in coastal Odisha, Kerala, and Andhra Pradesh. So thorium is found in coastal Odisha, Kerala, and Andhra Pradesh. So this is all. And the second next question is the largest wind farm in India? So Munappandal is the largest wind farm in India. Next question is where is Munappandal wind farm located in India? It is located in Tamil Nadu. In 2017, India ranked third in coal consumption. India has 22 nuclear reactors in operation. Yes, this is true. India is a net energy importer. It is also true. So these are the references of this lecture, and the best book for this renewable energy sources or the future of energy in which we are going to maintain our sustainable development. That is Natural Gas and India's Journey to a Clean Energy Future, which is written by Vikram Singh Mehta. Vikram Singh Mehta. So you can go through this book and you can explore many new resources of energy. Okay. So these are the references of this lecture. Thank you.